what's changed since the project was introduced. And there was a few things along the way that have changed. We had a vote in 2010 on Measure W to not break our urban growth boundary. Urban limit lines have been further reinforced. The City of Dublin recently passed a urban limit line on its east side, which is not too far from the Tassajasa Valley. And the City of Livermore's mayor reaffirmed Livermore's commitment to the open space that's between us. There's been a major scale back of any development in the Tassajasa Valley in the recent years, primarily because of that urban limit line vote. East Bay Parks has expressed interest in land in the Tassajasa Valley. 9,000 homes have been built within 5 miles of the project, including mine. So I live here too, okay? So please, let's keep this in terms of asking questions, informational, and find out what else you can do. There's been a major drought that we're in the middle of, and a lot more understanding of the impact of siphoning of groundwater, whether it's in an area that's pretty dry like the Tassajara Valley or in our Central Valley. And with that, I think that I'll turn it over. We can turn it over to Debbie, Bill. This is not a city council meeting, by the way. Just so you know, this is you can't have a city council meeting with 2 people. As much as some people might like to have a city council meeting, you can't. We have to have at least 3 of the 5 of us, and 3 of our colleagues happen to all be out of town. It wasn't because we were having this session; it's because they were scheduled to be out of town quite some time ago. So I just want to thank the city clerk for assisting us with this, the city manager for helping to set this up, and Debbie for doing some extra work. If one is a staffer, one often has a lot of projects on one's plate, and this was not on her plate, I suspect, 2 months ago, but nonetheless, we have been following this project all along. So with that,
Councilmember Ramon. So tonight, we're just going to give a quick overview of kind of the basics of the project. As what's been indicated by the mayor and Councilmember Ramon, it's not in the City of San Ramon's jurisdiction. It's only in our planning area, so we have no jurisdictional authority to approve or deny a project. So we're just here to listen to your comments tonight. So the purpose for tonight, and we've kind of gone over this, is just to bring public awareness to the project, provide an overview of it, receive your comments, and the project will be considered by Contra Costa County at some point this summer. I hear the public hearings kind of keep getting moved out a little bit more, but they're looking, I think, at late summer, early fall. And any specific questions you have regarding the project should be referred to Telma Morea, and her phone number is on the PowerPoint slide, and her email address is there also. And at the end of the presentation, I do have the county website that has the project information. So on Contra Costa County's website, under Department of Conservation Development, under Special Projects, I believe, there's a link specifically to this project where you will find the environmental impact report and the project plans. So a bit of history. Back in 2003, a Tri-Valley Cemetery Task Force was formed, which comprised the City of Pleasanton, Livermore, Danville, San Ramon, and Dublin, and the Planning Commission from Livermore, along with cemetery and mortuary experts. During that, with the work that they completed in 2005, all the cities, including San Ramon, passed a resolution supporting a cemetery within the Tri-Valley. Now that was 9 years ago at this point, but there was some initial support at that point in time. Following that, the applicant, Sig Quarry, who is a property owner, did file an application with Contra Costa County for development of a cemetery. So over the next 6 years, the county spent doing an environmental analysis of the project. And in December of last year, the environmental impact report was certified by the Planning Commission, by the Planning Administrator. And at this point, the public hearings have not been scheduled, but as I indicated, they're anticipated to be in the late summer, early fall of this year. So as we kind of generally talked about, the project is in Tassajara Valley, outside our city limits. If you see the rectangular blue, that is the general location of the project. Directly to the left side, the red line is our city limits, our urban growth boundary, and our sphere of influence boundary. And then the community to the left you see further beyond is the Windermere community in Doherty Valley. So generally the project's going to occupy about 58 acres of 221 acre site. It includes an upper garden area and lower garden area, and it's located on 2 parcels. Based upon what I gleaned from the environmental impact report, the project's going to include administrative offices in the chapel, an indoor mausoleum, 4 outdoor mausoleums, a storage building, a corporation yard, a free-form lake, and a 1 acre site set aside for a possible future fire station, and then several different forms of landscaping that's being proposed. So from page 2-16 of the EIR, these were the highlights of the applicant and Contra Costa County's objectives for the project. To create a cemetery to provide for the burial needs of the greater Tri-Valley area. It was geographically located between the Tri-Valley cities of San Ramon, Dublin, Pleasanton, and Livermore. Help solve the existing area-wide shortage and accommodate about 100,000 burial sites. So this is the illustrative plan for the Creekside Memorial Cemetery Park. The upper entombment area you see is on the left side. So this area is the upper entombment area, and then this is the lower entombment area, the lower garden area, is kind of what it's called. So in the lower garden area, you'll see this is the entrance to the project site here. The left is the corporation yard and storage buildings. In the center area is the indoor mausoleum and chapel, and then over to the left here is the outdoor mausoleum. And then the upper entombment area, in the center of these roundabouts are private family mausoleums, and then the green surrounding the roadway are the entombment areas or the burial sites. As the council members have indicated, we have been following this project and have commented on the environmental impact report. And we did acknowledge it's within our planning area, and being within the city's planning area, while we don't have a jurisdictional authority over it, we note that it's an area of interest to us, and we want to know what occurs, and we want to be able to voice our concerns or our support, if that would be the case, or our concerns over the project. And so in our letter to the county, we focused on the views of the cemetery from Tassajasa Ridge, and we encouraged modifications to the project site plan, and which was to eliminate that highest roundabout, which you saw in the previous slides, which is shown generally right here, and then reduce this upper entombment area down to that roundabout. So trying to preserve those 4 front views from Tassajasa Ridge. Other concerns that the city has gotten from the EIR is, from a water standpoint, the project requires 45 acre-feet of water, and based on the information in the environmental impact report, only 27 acre-feet of water can be identified through 3 sources of rainfall recharge, subsurface flows, and percolation from the creek. The EIR did identify this as a significant unavoidable impact, which means that there's no feasible way to provide adequate water for the project. So that is one of the issues that the county will be struggling with or working with the applicant as they work through the project recommendation. And so with that, the contact information for Contra Costa County is, as I said, Thelma Morea. Her phone number and email address are on the screen, and then the web address for Contra Costa County. But if you just go there, if you do a search on the county website for their department and then Creekside Cemetery, you should find it pretty easily too.
Debbie, I had a question. Could you pull up the, I guess the site map, if you will? This one here. Yeah. So there's a road that goes from the bottom.
Yes.
What is the elevate? Do you know what the elevation change of that road is? How long it is? If you could find that out.
Yeah, and off the top of my head, I think the highest elevation is going to be 870. I want to say, but I don't know it off the top of my head. but the access road would wrap from the bottom of Tassajasa Road, which is generally out here, come past the upper mausoleums, and then wrap around at the top, and then access at this point here, and then come back down to the to access the upper entombment area. But we can get that information for you.
And if you could also, if it's possible, it'd be nice to see an overlay of what the existing site looks like now in terms of the dirt being moved around, etc., ridge lines, what have you. Yeah. Good.
The two-thirds of the study session, you can talk up. Thank you. All right, what I'd like to do is having had a preliminary overview, and thank you, Debbie, very much, is a chance, I think, for the public to ask questions and comments. Understand, again, we can't make changes and we can't influence this, but we do want to hear what your thoughts are, because you'll always raise... I'll let you read them. Because you're, and again, if you're reluctant to speak publicly, please write out your comments. I want to emphasize that because anything we get from you in writing is easier to kind of review and go through and incorporate in the record. It's very difficult to transcribe what you say. Thank you. Those who want to have written comments, please go ahead and write your comments. That'll be part of the proceeding. And Renee, call us your name. Come on up here to the front. Limit your comments to 3 minutes at most. You can always speak less if you want to. And when the red button goes off or you get red carded, that means your time is up. And we really to be conscious to be conscientious to everybody else in the room. Thank you very much for your help. And after we go through some questions, I think we might have some comments and find out what we go from here. So, Madam Clerk.
Ross Roga.